Hello everyone, this is group 3. I'm Ivan Sankuma and I have Justice Okanyi, Felix, Ansa, and Bullock in my group. And we'll be talking about client side wireless attack. Client side wireless attacks target vulnerabilities in client applications that interact with compromised access points or servers and attempt to access data or process malicious data. Just like the diagram illustrates, you have an attacker and you have an end user. And then you have the server in the middle. So the attacker tries to access vulnerabilities on the server, which affects the end user. Examples of client-side wireless attacks include websites, emails, FTPs, IMM media streaming, Bluetooth-enabled devices. These are common devices and places where client-side wireless attacks mostly take place. Examples of client wireless attacks include sniffing, scrolling, probing, manning the data attack, and word driving. So we take a look at wireless sniffing. Sniffing is the act by a machine X of making copies of a network packet sent by machine A intended to be received by machine B. It takes a little to no experience at all to view unexpected traffic. Wireless networks are becoming much larger in terms of bandwidth and range. A hacker can easily set up a wireless honeypot to lure victims into what they believe is a trusted wireless network. With hackers setting up honeypots, this is mostly common with our home network or trying to connect to a network around a coffee shop. The attacker set up the honeypot and name it after the access point you've always been connecting to. So if you are not careful, you might end up connecting to the hacker's network, which will make you vulnerable. Now, wireless spoofing is a means of tricking the user into believing a website is legitimate by replacing the true IP address of the sender with a different address. This act is commonly known as spoofing and is mostly used by hackers to redirect people into an unsecure website where they become vulnerable. We will talk about probing. In probing, the attacker sends artificial constructed packets to a target that triggers useful responses. This activity is what we normally call active or spoofing. Probing activity injects frames that are observable by system administrators. The attacker fills the sender MAC address field of the inject frame with a spoof value, so his equipment is not identified. Hackers can resort to probing by injecting a proof request string that contains spoof source MAC address. Now, man in the middle attack. This is an attack where the attacker secretly relays and possibly alters the communication between two parties who believe they are communicating directly with each other. This mostly happens in our communication with emails. The attacker is in the middle, and then when A sends the email, the attacker intercepts the email, alter it, and forward it to B, who is intended to receive the email from A. We talk about wireless driving, which has become common these days and is used by hackers to gain access to networks. Now equipped with wireless devices and related tools, driving around in a vehicle hacking at interesting places with the goal of discovering easy to get into wireless networks. Wireless driving was invented by Peter Shipley and is now commonly practiced by hobbyist hackers and security analysts worldwide. We will now proceed to look at protective measures to prevent us from client-side wireless attacks. Each attack needs a different kind of protection. So we'll talk about all the attacks we've spoken of: sniffing, spoofing, man-in-the-middle attack, and wall driving. With sniffing, it requires segment, and use of encryption. Spoofing enable your routers to with spoofing you have to enable your routers to reject communicating outside your local network, as well as enable encryption sessions on your router. With man-in-the-middle attack, you have to implement real-time web-based security on your device, educate employees on how to verify emails before opening them, and rotate login information regularly. With wall driving, find a software that scans for signatures of wall driving software. Now let's take a look at some defensive measures you can put in place to prevent you from being vulnerable to these attacks. One, you have to make sure you have a firewall in place, a strong firewall to prevent attackers from penetrating through your network. They have to correctly check the SSID you are trying to access. This, as I explained with the honeypot, the attackers set up similar or the same IP address to the network you wish to connect to. So you have to carefully check that to make sure you are connected to the correct SSD address. And then you also have to change your password periodically, at least within every 3 to 6 months, so you don't become vulnerable. And you also carefully place your IP address to avoid broadcast outside your home or office. That's limiting the broadcast of your network, but don't go outside the boundaries you set. Now, we take a look at the software that is intended for client-side wireless attack, and this software is Metasploit. Now, you just have to go into Google and type Metasploit. Yeah, so I got Metasploit. So this is Metasploit. I've already downloaded it, so I'll go ahead and show you how it works. So after downloading the Metasploit, you just have to launch it, and you use all the default settings that has already been put in place. But before you go on, you have to disable your antivirus and your firewall. I can't run on those things. So I'm going to go ahead and disable my firewall and my Windows Defender. I use Windows Defender, so I will go ahead and disable my Windows Defender. So I'm turning real-time protection off, and then you notice that after I've turned it off, I become vulnerable as the red signs indicate. So I have to go back and disable my firewall. So just going to type firewall here. Okay, so this Windows firewall. And then I'm just going to go here. And then I'm just going to turn off all of them off. So actually disabling all of them make you vulnerable. So after this presentation, I'm just going to turn them back on. So when I did it, I had a code. So this is being installed. Just going to take a minute, probably just a second. So with this software, you'll be able to conduct penetrating and testing through easy-to-use interface and demonstrate true risk management and IT operations. This will educate you and to help us understand how important it is to secure ourselves from these attacks. So this version of Metasploit I'm using is the community version, which is free for I think a year or so. I'm just using it for the demonstration and to show you how it works. But there's also the pro version, which is good and has all the advanced features you need to protect your enterprise and detect the security you're having. It's taking much longer than I actually thought it took. I was about to install it, but I wanted to show you how to go about it. So I waited and so I'll just go ahead and continue from there. So after installing it, you are good to go. You only have to add the network you want to determine the vulnerabilities inside. Then you go ahead and run it, and then you see where those vulnerabilities lie. If they are password or anything, you see those security risks showing. So that would be for it for this presentation. If you have any question, you can just add it to our group and you respond to your question. Thank you for watching.